SaaSberry AI podcast. Today's speaker, Chris Cade. The AI bubble debate, beliefs, myths, and use cases.
There's been a lot of debate on the AI bubble. What do you think? Is this a bubble?
Well, I'm definitely no economics major, and I'm definitely no stock guy, but I can tell you that I was there during the dot-com bubble, and bubbles are based on speculation and not revenues. And I love to reference Joe Bhakti. Joe Bhakti is a scholar with an economics background, and he's also an AI founder of a company called QuantGene. And he brought up in one of his podcasts the first documented bubble, which was the tulip bubble. And in the year 1637, kings and elites all around the world wanted tulips in their gardens. And the price went up so much because of the speculation that they were running out of tulips. It was insane. And all of a sudden, demand collapsed it. It caused the tulip prices to plummet overnight by 90%. Then Joe compared revenues and stock growth from companies during the dot-com bubble, and they compared it to today. He showed Cisco stock from 1998 until 2002 and compared a stock price to earnings, and based on speculation, Cisco's stock skyrocketed. It soared. It went up around 300%, and then it crashed on its and when it crashed, it went back to pretty much its earning price. So if he compares 1999 to 2002 Cisco's price to NVIDIA's, NVIDIA's price shows earnings, which has supported the tech evaluation perfectly. Difference is earnings and evaluations have been aligned. Startups today show the money, whereas in my opinion in 2000, it was all based on speculation, like that tulip bubble. And a great example of this is Lovable. Lovable created $1 billion revenue, ARR revenue, in only 8 months. So it wasn't based on speculation. It was based on actual earnings, just like NVIDIA over the last 2 years. NVIDIA's growth is, their stock growth is based on and equal to their earnings growth right now. Completely different than what I witnessed going on in the 2000s. I actually was selling computer solutions back in 1999, and I had one company, which was bingo.com. The stock price soared to $14 a share with not $1 in earnings. In fact, I couldn't even deliver them their servers and their computers because they had no credit and they had nothing going on, no revenues to associate how they were going to be protected on the computers they bought from me. And in fact, it crashed and it went bankrupt as well. So in my opinion, this isn't a bubble. This is real life revenues matching the tech evaluations, which is dramatically different than what happened in 1999 and 2000. I also look at this bubble as hype versus fiction. And me being in tech for 30 years, I've never seen technology moving so fast as it does today. We're seeing incredible returns. I know there was an MIT study that said 85% of all proof of concepts are failing. I don't believe anything like that. And in fact, now Gartner and other organizations are contradicting that MIT study. And I really believe that MIT study was purely for their own gain and their own benefit to create their own revenues. I would literally compare this to the introduction of electricity. Our first agent or agentic tool that we built that really had an ROI was in January of this year. That core technology opened up the doors for a similar organization to come to us. And the capabilities of what the version of the agent we built in January compared to today, it literally is the same as what I would describe it that would have happened 7, 8, 9 years later back in 2000. So what happened in 2000 versus 2007, over 7 years, we're seeing that now in 7 months. The latest agent that we bought off that version 1 that we built for another organization, dramatically different. So I do not see this being a bubble. I do not see this based on speculation. We're seeing revenues matching evaluations of these organizations, and we're literally seeing companies go from 0 revenues to $1 billion in revenue in less than a year. And that was not heard of back in the dot-com bubble.
Thank you. You talk with tons of CEOs and businesses. Where should a company start?
Well, we created a Microsoft practice on building agentic tools. We're a software engineering firm. We're an AI software engineering firm now. We used to build software from the ground up and then bring AI into it. Now, everything we do is AI from the beginning, and that is the goal of the use case that we define. But I do see two different types of audiences, because when I first talked with our CTO about going to market with a practice around building agentic tools, I thought people were just going to be lining up, because I literally was seeing things that I never saw. Even with my 7-year career at Microsoft, I never saw what I'd describe as software thinking for itself. So when we came to market last year, I thought everyone's going to want these and everyone's going to be buying them. Well, the fact is, there's two different types of customers we're talking to right now. The customers that come to us that are already power users of AI, ones that have power employees that are promoting and using AI in every meeting they do, those are the ones that want to jump right into the use cases. And then the next type of customer are the ones that I feel have not started and not sure where to go. So let's break that into two different types of customers. The power users, we're gonna want to jump into specific use cases. But the non-power users, and where do I start? Well, the first thing I say to them, let's not fear this. I went through .com, I went through the cloud. Sometimes the media and the tech world, they overcomplicate things, right? So let's not fear AI. You're not gonna lose your job, but at the same time, you have to understand that your business is going to change. So instead of fearing it, instead of overcomplicating it, let's just start. And we have tools we can use now to increase top line or decrease bottom lines. And so, first of all, if you're the CEO, you need to start using this. Whether you're in plumbing or construction, if you don't think your business will change, you're wrong. Okay, so start using it yourself. First thing I tell everyone is choose a provider. We've chosen Microsoft. We're all in on the Microsoft stack. That doesn't mean we just build in the Microsoft stack, but it's definitely a practice that we're very proud of, and we're really helping customers leverage agentic tools to show a return on that investment, and contradicting what MIT studies showed earlier this year. Now, again, going back to the CEOs, look at choosing a partner, okay? Choose like a Microsoft. You don't have to just choose Microsoft. There's other organizations out there, but go in with them. Leverage them to be your cloud provider. We've implemented Copilot into all of our employees' M365. So everything around Office, the regular Word, Outlook, Teams, has Copilot helping them be more strategic within the day. Our organization might be a little different. We not only standardize in Copilot, but everyone's leveraging OpenAI as well. But start with just one. Choose a cloud provider. Choose a tool that your employees can be more productive with on the desktop. Now, number two, don't just roll out Copilot. You do have to look at training. We've seen data show AI get deployed, and during the first week, we noticed around 70 to 75% adoption rate. And then without training, that number slowly starts declining. And over 2-3 months later, you're seeing 50% of the employees continuing the adoption of leveraging these tools. So we need to train those employees. When you train them how to leverage Copilot to the maximum potential, we're seeing that 70 to 75% initial adoption go up to around 80 to 90%. So you want to make sure that you don't just roll it out to your employees. You actually help them with it. How to build better prompts, how to leverage it in your Word documents, how to leverage it in your email, how to summarize after a meeting what the tasks are so you can follow up with customers or fellow employees to say, this is what we agreed to. These are little tiny things with proper training will start to get your employees start adopting this a lot better. And when they start adopting it, then they're going to start sharing wins and secrets and things that they've learned through their fellow employees, to their employees under them, or to their leadership above them. The next one, I'm going to say, start understanding what data you have. So it's easy to understand that Copilot is going to be seeing everything you guys are doing in your M365. But how are people leveraging this to even go to the next step? How are we going to build agentic tools? Well, that comes down to what data you have. If you're a manufacturer, put all of your data into a repository. Get someone that can help you with the data strategy, because your AI is only as strong as the data that you provide that. So you want to look at choosing what tool you're going to go with, look at how we're going to train our users, and then how do we manage the data. The data is your oil. The data is your gold. The better plan you have with managing your data, the better output the answers are going to be through AI. If you've got years and years of data just sitting on a shelf in paper, consider start scanning that and putting it into an unstructured data plan, so that when you do leverage this, then you can really leverage the results from AI. And then, encourage your organization. Encourage idea sharing. Support your power users. You're going to have people that are leveraging it to the fullest potential. The ones that are going to say, hey, I want to use OpenAI or Copilot, GPT Copilot. Well, give those power users both of them. Start getting feedback from them. Why don't you do little hackathons within your organization? Let's share the win. If you share a win that you've been more successful leveraging AI within your enterprise, throw them a gift card, a Starbucks gift card, put a little competition in place. That's going to get everyone to embrace this faster and leverage it better within your organization. And as a CEO, start learning this. Start using AI every single day within your business. Help it write your proposals. Help it write with any legal accounting issues you might have. Ask its opinion on things. Don't be scared of it. Use it, leverage it, and you're going to actually say, oh, wow, I'm way more efficient today than I was before. And then at the end of that, that's when you're going to be able to start learning specific use cases, okay? We build agentic tools for customers. Every successful one, the CEO has been the executive sponsor, okay? Traditionally, it's gone from the CEO to the CIO/CTO or that business analyst. And that's great because the CEO is still involved and wanting to get weekly updates or quarterly or every 2 weeks. What's the update now? Where are we at with this? What are you seeing? What are you fearing? Also understand that when you start defining specific use cases, and many times this has happened to us, we've sat in a room and a very excited CEO is talking about, which I'll describe as quoting, the cure for malaria. Let's not try to cure malaria. Even though that would be nice, let's start off with very, very simple use cases. I'll give you an example of a gold mine that we were working with. We needed to prove ourselves with them that we had the capability to build some of these tools. And coming up with use cases was just too much challenging. So I asked one of their foremans at one of their mines, tell me a problem that you're having today, something that drives you nuts. And it was very simple. He said, I have 3 mechanical engineers on site here, and we have over 5,000 gas-powered vehicles. If you can help these 3 be more efficient with these 5,000 gas-powered vehicles, that would make my life way easier. So we built a tool to allow these 3 mechanics to be able to get a call when something breaks down, to go down to it and simply take a picture of a serial number, which has the make and model, and then the picture of the damaged part. And all the research that these mechanics used to have to go through back in their trailer, going through service catalogs, maintenance catalogs, or whatever it was, through a simple picture, it could do an image recognition and show this is from an 88 Cummins diesel piston. And then it can start sourcing it. It can start referencing all the documentation to all the service catalogs, all the maintenance catalogs if they had that make and model, and allow them to get more time in actually fixing it than researching it. A very simple use case. Who would have thought to make 3 mechanics more efficient? Well, the downtime on this equipment from the reduction of researching through manual paper-based was so dramatic that now they're looking at integrating it into all of their procurement apps. They're looking at filming YouTube's videos so that they can post that up as another data source. So if you worked on that 88 Cummins diesel, the next time it's going to show up the video and say, look, this is what we did. The piston went. This is how you replace it. Again, just allowing your mechanics to spend more time doing what they'd rather be doing, and that's fixing things rather than researching it. And that's really what it comes down to. Another great use case is something similar. Let's say you have 10 salespeople, customer service salespeople, and typically what would happen is your phone would ring, and it would be Chase from SaaSberry, and he's like, can you give me the status of my order? What would happen normally is, who's your account rep? Who's your service rep? I'll have them call you back. But imagine if you could just type in Teams or whatever the UI that you normally would be, and just say, hey, Chase from SaaSberry called. He wants to know the status of the order. And instantly it gave you all the answers. Look, 40% of your order's already been shipped. The rest is going out next Tuesday. Is there anything I can help you with? Like, I can give you a detailed breakdown right now by just asking Teams, can you send Chase an updated status of what's been shipped, what's coming next week, and break it all down in a format so that the customer can understand. Now that customer request call has been solved right there without saying, I'll have your customer service rep or your account manager call you back. Those are the little things that we want to do. Things to just augment your staff to be more strategic and to be more valuable to the organization. And I say to everyone, what's a task that you do regularly that's mundane and boring that you can't stand doing on a daily basis? Those are where we can start to identify very simple use cases that can be rolled out cost effectively through our organizations without breaking the bank. And then we can see, you know what, this $30,000, $40,000 investment, are our sales agents benefiting from this? And if the answer is yes, how do you branch it off from there? And we'll reinvest into more and more, making it better and stronger for the organization. If you see that it's bringing no value to your sales team or your customer service reps, you stop. You stop investing, because I'm sure just over a simple conversation, you and I can identify dozens of use cases like what I just described. And you don't want to keep going on if it's not bringing the benefits to your employees. You want to stop, fail fast, and do it in these little investments to see the return on the organization and your employees. And going back to that, as that evolution grows within your organization, now you can do like company-wide hackathons and get up little groups and do a competition, you know, a Canucks jersey for the person that comes up with the next use case that we invest in. And you're going to see that whole organization evolve, and you're going to see that whole organization be able to increase your top or decrease your bottom line. And another thing that I'd say is embrace it as something exciting. This isn't going to take your jobs. It's going to take the boring stuff away from your jobs. Everybody's always saying fearing job loss. We do not look at it as job loss. We look at it as a strategic tool that employees can now leverage. Think about, you know, trying to build a house with a rock and old steel pegs versus a hammer and nails. And that's really what it is. You still need the contractor, you still need the builder to bang those nails, but he's building the house way more efficiently than he would have with a rock and old steel spikes.
How do you balance data-driven decisions with human intuition in your leadership style?
It's a good question. I mean, I think right now the tools we're building, we're not building autonomous. We're building human in the loop. And as I've said to you, and I've said to all of our staff, you know, leverage AI to start, but you have to go off with your human creativeness if this will work for our customers, or if this will work on our content, or if this will work on the development software we're building. So always understand that right now in today's world, that there's going to be a human in the loop, and we need to depend on those humans. And the humans that are being creative and courageous on leveraging this and speaking up are the ones that are going to thrive in this new world. So everything that I do, I push everyone. Did you build this in AI? Answer is yes. Tell me what your thoughts are on this. Tell me what your opinion on this. And leverage the human component that we're not getting from AI yet to see if this is the right decision, if this is the right software, if this is the right tool, or if this is the right approach. Start with AI and then leverage your own creativeness and your own intuition to contradict it, to talk about it, to bring up your concerns about it, and then decide, is this a choice we want to go with? And that's what I've been doing with myself. What are we doing today for our own coding? How are our own engineers getting better? Can I see some of the agentic tools we're using? And when I see them, I love it. And I love people not scared to show, look what I'm now using. I'm using this AI tool to accomplish this before. That might have been something that employees might have been nervous to share before. Our team is always sharing and always expressing big wins and new tools and new capabilities, but they're doing it through their own human capabilities of bringing their own human creativeness on leveraging these tools that they now can accomplish new goals that we didn't think we could do a year or two ago.
Do you have any strategies you could recommend for companies wanting to maintain their culture with the automation that's increasing in their environment?
Culture. Well, I think that you do have to embrace a new culture. Like I'd said earlier, where to start. Create open dialogue of what they're seeing, and if there's someone out there winning by leveraging AI and somebody that's not, have that person speak at that next meeting that you guys have. Maybe you start up an L10 like we do every Monday, where you guys just talk about what worked and what didn't work last week, to share that with all the other people. And then if one employee says, look, I still don't get it, ask the other employee to share that with him or her, so that everyone can get on that same plateau of evolving and growing. But culture is something that, again, comes back to humans. Encourage having fun, passion. How is AI going to get us to win more over the competitor? How is AI going to leverage? How are we going to leverage AI to launch new revenue opportunities, new opportunities that we didn't think of, and have everybody be able to share that? So bring a culture on growth. Bring a culture on that AI is not going away. We're going to be better. So how do we become the best AI construction team? Even though you might be building HVAC or like, whatever it is, how do we leverage AI to be better than the way we've done traditional business over the last 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years? A lot of the CEOs that we're working with now are second or third generation CEOs to their business. So it was either their father or their grandfather that founded those companies, and now they're the ones saying, how do we take this to the next world, the AI world? And those are the ones that are really fast tracking. In fact, I'm seeing that businesses between 20 and 100 million adopting AI faster than the billion-dollar organizations. They don't have lawyers. They don't have compliance officers. They don't have all of the process that they have to go through when leveraging AI. And those are the organizations that could catch up to those billion-dollar companies quickly. So if you're out there building construction and think this won't affect your business, it will. So how do you embark in a new culture, a new way of thinking, where you can get that foreman of yours from the job site to provide valuable input on how they can leverage AI to get the job done quicker and better than what they did before? So embrace AI into culture, reward your people. I mentioned before on one of our podcasts, Philip Yu on AXA Insurance, they were giving out football jerseys. When I say football, it's a soccer team. They were giving out soccer jerseys to the people that got their use cases built from their IT. Do things like that. Get people involved. And just because somebody maybe worked for you for 30 years on the job site and never even looks at anything other than a phone, ask those questions. How can we make your life? What are the mundane tasks that are driving you crazy that maybe we can give you a tool on your phone to make you be more efficient? And you'll be surprised what you'll start hearing from even the old timers, because the young guys are going to be telling you this nonstop. I need AI to be more successful. Other thing that you should know, if you're leveraging AI tools, you may be a candidate to get more resumes on your desk. I've noticed that at SaaSberry, a lot of people that have come to us for a job, and I've asked them, why SaaSberry? Well, they want to work on leading, bleeding AI technology. They don't want to be working on 10-year-old platforms or tools, because they are worried that they will be out of date with their own value proposition to the market. So if you start using AI tools and embracing that as culture, your younger employees will be completely talking about it, but even your older employees will be adopting that because they're worried about job security, and they do want to make sure that they're bringing value to their organization. And guess what? They're going to see efficiencies that they weren't even aware about. So.
Well, thank you, Chris. That was great, and we're very excited to see you speak around Vancouver coming up soon.
Yeah, the one thing that we're doing for people out there is that art of the possible. Feel free to reach out to us. When we show them use case examples, it triggers light bulb moments. Every single successful project we've done was because we've shown them other agent tools that we built, and it has triggered those light bulb moments. So if you're a qualified business, reach out to any of my team members. We can do the art of the possible. It's around an hour and a half long. It's fun. It shows some cool things, and it's going to trigger light bulb moments on how your organization can fast track its way by being more efficient with agentic AI tool sets. Thank you.